Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddham, buddham, buddham vande. Dhammam, dhammam, dhammam vande. Sangham, sangham, sangham vande. Buddham, dhammam, sangham vande. Samanta cakkavalesu atra gaccantu devatam saddhammam munirajassa sunanto sagga mokkadam dhammasavana kalo ayam badantam Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Yoca buddhaṃ ca dhammaṃ ca saṅgaṃ ca saranam gato Cattari ariya saccāni sammapaññāya passati Dukkhaṃ dukkha samuppādam dukkhassa ca atinkkamaṃ Ariyaṃ catthaṃgikaṃ maggam dukkhopasamagāminanti. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the perfectly enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in the Dhamma, today we are going to discuss in Buddhist teachings Saddha or confidence. I think we have already discussed this topic several times. But again and again we discuss the same topic because it is very important. Little by little we go to the deeper level. What is the Saddha or confidence that Buddha has explained in his teachings? What is the confidence that we should increase?
Buddha's enlightenment.
Yes, Buddha's enlightenment, very good. His teachings, his noble disciples. In these three things, we develop our confidence. These are said in Buddhism as three refuge or three jewels. Jewels means very valuable thing. We collect jewels for happiness. When we have a lot of jewels in our life, we think that we are rich and we can be happy. Those are the material gems. Actually, material gems can be happy, but the thing is, it is not a certain solution, certain happiness. Because sometimes those gems can bring us suffering, sorrow, fear, lamentation. Because when somebody steals those things, we are angry, we have fear, we have lamentation. Therefore, those things are not real refuge in our life. The thing is, the main purpose of everyone is happiness. We do everything for happiness. That is why we collect some material things. We feed our children, and we create some friends, and also we earn some money or something for our happiness. When we think something, if we are happy, it means that is a wealth or valuable thing. When you think your children, you are happy. That is why you say your children, you are my gem, diamond. You are my jewelry. Sometimes we say, because they bring us happiness. When we have a close friend, we say them, you are my gem, you are my diamond. Because when we think them, we are happy. That is why we say. But that happiness is not permanent. When we meet a person, when we see their good complexion, their sweet words, we are happy. But when we associate them very closely, little by little, our attachment, happiness increases or decreases. Sometimes you may think that our happiness increases, but when we go to the end of our life, actually our happiness gradually decreases. That is the nature of all things that we earn in this life. In this situation, Buddhism has pointed out the real gems that we can earn, which cause to develop our real happiness. When we think somebody, sometimes we are happy if they have good behavior. But if they have misbehavior, if they have mistakes, sometimes we may get angry. We are not happy, we are unhappy. But the special thing that when we think these three refuges, triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, our happiness never go away. Day by day, our happiness increases. And the interesting thing is, if we can understand these three things, we give the priority to these three things, without keeping away the things that we have already given the priority. If we have given priority to our children and our education, our job, our physical body, now our house, our home, our parents, these are the things that we have already given a priority. When we have this understanding throughout listening and practicing Dhamma, we don't keep them away. Little by little, we bring these three things up a level. That is the thing. And also at the same time, we give the priority to them too. They also little by little we lift up a level. That is the interesting thing. And also, every day, we think these three things, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Saddha means confidence. Confidence means when as much as we listening to Buddha's message and also as much as we practice Buddha's message, we think Buddha's enlightenment, and that is the Buddha. Buddha means it is not just Buddha's physical body. We are confident in Buddha's enlightenment, his understanding, comprehension, discovery. And also, what is the Dhamma? Dhamma means Buddha's teaching, which helped Buddha to attain enlightenment and which helped us to attain enlightenment. That is the Dhamma. And also, what is the third one? Third one is the Sangha. Who are the Sanghas? Sangha means Buddha's noble disciples who enlighten and who are on the path of enlightenment. We have confidence about these three things. And for that, the very special thing that we should develop, listening to Dhamma. As much as we listen to Buddha's message, our confidence gradually increases. It is not just a blind faith. It is an understandable, comprehensive understanding. And what Buddha taught us? What is the Buddha's message? Buddha's message can be divided into two. One of them is Dhammagaru, the path of heaven, heavenly path. All Buddhist doctrines can be divided into two. They are heavenly path and deliverance path. Heavenly path means that first Buddha explained the doctrines which are useful to have a blissful life in the human realm or heaven realm or Brahma realm. What are the things that we should practice to have a blissful life? That is the first thing that Buddha explained. What are the things that we should do to achieve a blissful life?
Avoid the three defilements.
Yes, very good. Avoiding negative thoughts, three defilements, especially lobha and dosa, craving and anger. And also not only avoiding, reducing negative thoughts, but we should practice good deeds. Sometimes some people may say that we don't do bad deeds, bad things, therefore we don't need to do good deeds. Actually, it is not true. For example, when you are in a hotel or motel, spending your money that you have earned, while you are in a hotel or motel, if you think that I don't disturb others' money, therefore I don't need to earn more money. Even though you don't steal or disturb others' money, when you spend your time in a hotel, day by day, your wealth, your money decreases. Therefore, we have to earn more money if you want to live continuously there. This world also like that. While we are living, actually we spend some result, positive result, fruitful result, good karma result that we have earned in our previous life. That is why, while we are spending this life, we have to practice more good deeds, practicing generosity, offering something to others, practicing virtue, for good discipline, and practicing meditation. We can generate positive thoughts which are useful to develop our life. Those merits are useful not only in our next life, but those things are beneficial in this life. When you help others, you can receive the same result from anywhere. That is the nature of the karmic law, karmic result. And also Buddha has explained the path of deliverance path, moksha magga, liberation path, how we overcome suffering completely. In this level, Buddha has explained the way how we overcome delusion or ignorance. According to Buddhism, we are in the samsaric journey, in the circle. Whatever we do, good or bad, we are in this circle. What is the reason? What is the reason? Main reason is ignorance or delusion. What's the highest delusion? Huge delusion. Before we experience something, we may think that it was here. After experience, we think it remains. That is the delusion. Even though sometimes we do good deeds, such as practicing generosity, actually we are in this circle. Therefore, we are lifting a very heavy thing, heavy load, because of this ignorance. Buddhism advises us to keep away this heavy weight. Little by little, we should try to release this heavy weight if we want to overcome suffering. This is the samsaric journey, samsaric circle, and Buddha has explained the way how we overcome this circle in deliverance path. Deliverance path means that Buddha has pointed out how we overcome our ignorance. Ignorance means little by little we practice impermanence. What happens to our life truly? Every moment our thoughts arise and ceases. That is the nature of our life. For that, first of all, we may have clear understanding what happens to our life. And also we should reflect on it again and again. And throughout practicing concentration and insight meditation, we are going to be permanent in this understanding. The success, our real success depends on the duration that we practice this reality. Little by little, if you are intelligent, please try to develop the duration that you practice concentration and insight meditation. Then little by little we are going to be independent. Now we are dependent on outside. We depend on outside. We depend on our relatives, our job, even our physical body, we depend on. As much as we can go forward in this understanding, we give the priority to these triple gems, and also we always live in mindfulness. With this understanding, our happiness gradually increases. At the same time, the confidence in these three gems gradually increases. Because Buddha's understanding is, we can get it as our experience, our understanding. We believe, we are confident in not just Buddha's physical body. We are confident in Buddha's this understanding. We can see this reality. We can understand this reality throughout our life, throughout our understanding. Then that knowledge is our knowledge. It is our inside refuge. But we usually find outside refuge, security, insurance. Those are not the real security. Here, we are going to make an inner refuge throughout practicing these three things. Therefore, Buddha says, he who sees the dependent origination sees the Dhamma. Yo paticcasamuppadam passati, so Dhammam passati. Yo Dhammam passati, so paticcasamuppadam passati. He who sees the Dhamma sees the dependent origination. What is the dependent origination that Buddha has explained? Impermanence. It is not just changing. Impermanence means that every moment our thoughts or five aggregates together arises and ceases. And as much as we are knowledgeable about this reality, our confidence in the Dhamma gradually increases. And these three things are interrelated. These three things are interrelated. When we are confident in Buddha's teaching, we are confident in Buddha's enlightenment. When we are confident in Buddha's message, we are confident in Buddha's noble disciples. When we are confident in Buddha's disciples, we are confident in the Buddha. That is why sometimes some people first saw the Buddha's disciples. Then they were confident. They were happy seeing these disciples. And they listened Dhamma through those monks, disciples. Then they asked, who is your teacher? Where is he? Then they went to Buddha. And sometimes first they listening to Dhamma. After they listening to Dhamma, they went to the Buddha, finding the spiritual teacher. Sometimes some people first met the Buddha. After they saw the Buddha, they argued, your senses are very present. Have any doctrines that you practice? Let me know, please. Then they listening the Dhamma. Throughout Dhamma, they were confident in the Buddha. Therefore, these three things are interrelated. If you are confident in one thing, the other things also gradually increase. And especially throughout practice, the Saddha or confidence in these three things, the very special thing that we should develop, intelligence or wisdom. We understand what happens to our life. When we associate a person, we completely trust in their physical body. We don't think they have a money, they have a consciousness, mind. We completely trust in their physical body. You are my friend, you are my child. We think their physical body is their life. After they die, what happens to us? Then we think that their mind is their life. Then we collect some positive thoughts, we acquire merits, and we transfer merits to their mind. It is not fault. Actually, the thing is, both of them are impermanent. And our life is the combination of the process of mind and body. We should have a physical body in this level, but it doesn't mean that our entire life is our physical body. Our physical body is like a cloth that we wear. Every moment this physical body changes. Not only physical body, our mind also changes. And while we are living, we develop our positive thoughts, our strength of our mind. We develop our strength of our consciousness. And when someone dies, their mind will be reborn in another place, in another body, according to their spirituality. And while someone is living, actually the life is the process of mind and body. Mind is here, body is here, and both of them are together, but always separately they are changing. Mind doesn't know I am using a body. Body doesn't know I am using a mind. But they have some kind of relation. We have received this body according to our mental situation. When we born in this world, our mind was so pure and calm. That is why we receive this kind of physical body in this time. However, although there are some combination with mind and body, both of them change every moment. And both of them are impermanent. That is the thing. If we can understand this reality, and little by little we try to develop our understanding what happens to our life, then we develop our intelligence, wisdom. With this understanding, we understand what are the real challenges, risks in our life. According to Buddhism, as we discussed before, we have three challenges in some levels. Buddha has explained, we have three challenges: decay, death and rebirth. In another time, Buddha has explained there are 4 huge rocks fall into our life. We have no security even though we have life insurance.
For what?
4 rocks.
Rocks.
4 huge rocks are falling from 4 directions, destroying everything. What are they? Yes, they are decay, sickness, death and rebirth. Whether we like or not, whether we know or not, every moment these 4 huge rocks, risks or challenges are falling towards us. In this situation, we have no any other refuge except these 3 things. Especially Dhamma. What is the Dhamma? Dhamma is the understanding, the wisdom. We have only thin that is beneficial to overcome these challenges. And here, especially Buddhism explained how we overcome delusion. That is the main thing. As we discussed before, the first thing that Buddha has explained, the heavenly path. Heavenly path means, first of all, we should have a security, insurance, which is that we don't know when we will die. Therefore, first of all, we should have a comprehension, understanding that I have a blissful life after I die. That is why we should decrease our craving and anger. Attachment, big attachment, covetousness or lust, gradually we should decrease throughout practicing generosity. And also, at the same time, we have to reduce anger or ill will. These are the major, very primary defilements which disturb our peace of mind. Decreasing those defilements is beneficial not only hereafter. In this lifetime, if we can overcome these negative thoughts from our mind, we can improve our happiness. We can improve our inner peace. That is why Buddha said, practicing merit means decorating our mind. We decorate our mind throughout practicing generosity, practicing loving kindness, practicing morality. We decorate our mind. And also we go everywhere with the mind that is decorated by us. And according to Buddhism, the big mistake or defilement in our life is ignorance. In the first level, heavenly path, we decrease some kind of ignorance. In the Kammasakata Sammaditthi, the understanding of the karmic law, we develop some kind of level of wisdom. Because, there are some people who don't believe the karmic force. It is a big mistake in our life. And throughout practicing heavenly path, we develop the knowledge of karmic law. But still we are ignorant, because we have no real understanding about the impermanence, dependent origination. That is why, little by little, we should go forward. And here, with the knowledge of the triple gems, or with understanding of the Dhamma, especially Buddha says, Yocha Buddhanta Dhammancha Sanghanta Saranangato. He who is confident in Buddha's teachings is knowledgeable about the Four Noble Truths. That is the great benefit that we receive throughout the confidence in these three things. As much as we are knowledgeable, we are confident in these three things, we understand how suffering arises and also what is the path that leads to overcome suffering. What is the suffering? The first thing of Four Noble Truths is suffering. Yes, the noble truth of suffering. Dukkha Satya. The noble truth of suffering. The noble truth of suffering. What is that? There are several things in this level. Jati dukkha, birth is suffering. Jarapi dukkha, decay is suffering. Vyadhi dukkho, sickness is suffering. Appehi sampayogo dukkho, associating with unpleasant people is suffering. Piyehi vipayogo dukkho, separation from good friends, nearest and dearest is suffering. Maranampi dukkham, death is suffering. Finally, Buddha has concluded all things in the same topic. Sankitthena panchupadana dukkha. In short, Buddha has explained arising of 5 aggregates is suffering. You know, people can understand that decay is suffering. Even common people can understand death is suffering. Ordinary people can understand sickness is suffering. It is not a special thing. The special thing that Buddha has explained, Sankitthena panchupadana dukkha. What is that? Arising of 5 aggregates is suffering. It means when we see something, when we hear something, when we experience something through our 6 senses, if we think it is in outside, the suffering or experience comes from outside. If we think, then our mind is fixed in outside things or persons. Then we are not away from suffering. If we can understand, as soon as we experience something throughout our senses, that my 5 aggregates arise at the moment, then our mind is not fixed in outside. For example, when we go to the mirror, if we know the situation near the mirror, we are not ignorant seeing our reflection. As soon as we see the reflection in the mirror, we know very well that reflection is here. We have no attachment or touching with the reflection in the mirror. It doesn't mean that we don't go to the mirror. Even though this is the reality, again and again we go to the mirror. Again and again we see the mirror, even we drive in a car. Like that. Although we have this experience, don't worry. We don't keep away our children. We see our children again and again. We take care of our parents again and again. While we are living with them, we go away from suffering, attachment, because day by day we are going away from delusion. And that is why, in the first level, we should understand the noble truth of suffering throughout the confidence in the triple J. And the second one, the cause of suffering, the origin cause of suffering, the noble cause of suffering. What is the nearest cause of suffering? Craving. Yes, very good. Craving or attachment is the nearest reason. But main root is ignorance. Nearest reason is attachment. Attachment arises because of delusion. For example, when we see the mirage, we are not ignorant. We don't run finding the mirage, but innocent deer. They also see the same thing what we see. The form is not different, but intelligence is different. Innocent deer run finding the water to mirage, but we don't run. Even though we are so thirsty, we never run towards the mirage. And in this situation, the nearest reason of suffering is craving, covetousness, or clinging, but the main root is delusion. Craving arises because of delusion. If we can overcome delusion, craving automatically ceases. And the cause of suffering, that is the second truth, that we are knowledgeable throughout the confidence in the triple gem. What is the third one?
Cessation of suffering.
Yes, very good. The noble truth of cessation of suffering. If we can go away from attachment or delusion, we can achieve liberation. We have this confidence throughout this Dhamma. Cessation. Cessation of suffering. The fourth one, the path, the noble path that leads to cessation from suffering. The path. Here there is a very special thing. First, Buddha has explained the cessation. Then Buddha has proclaimed the path. First, we should have the map or address. Then, we should find the path, the road, street. First, we should have the map where we are going to, where is our destination. It is like this one. This is a kind of, the way that we solve a problem. Like when we have a disease, like sickness, cause, treatment, and also health. These four things are also like that. And if we have confidence in this triple gem, then we are knowledgeable about the Four Noble Truths. It means day by day we go forward on the path of liberation. Here, with the understanding of the Four Noble Truths, again our confidence increases. In one side, we should have confidence. One side, we should have confidence or Saddha. The other side, we should have wisdom. Wisdom can be divided into several steps. In the first level, Suttamaya Panya, the wisdom of listening. Throughout listening to this message, we develop our intelligence, comprehension, wisdom in some levels. Throughout practicing, we improve it. And when we are confident in the triple gem, then our understanding in the Dhamma increases, and also we understand the path. Path is very important. Without a path, we have no destination. Therefore, we should try to understand the path. What is the path? Path is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the path. The contemplating on matter or physical body, the contemplating on feelings, the contemplating on consciousness, the contemplating on mental objects. Throughout practicing Four Noble Truths, what happens to us? When we practice Kaya Vipassana, the contemplating on physical body, we understand our physical body. Our physical body is the result of our food that we ate. And also this physical body consists with four things, four elements. Earth element, fire element, water element, and windy elements. As the result of combination of these four elements, there is a physical body. But it is not a certain person. And also throughout practicing Vedampassana, the contemplating on feelings, we understand how feelings arise. Feelings, not only physical feelings, feelings can be divided into six, according to our six senses. Throughout our eyes, nose, ear, we get feelings. That feelings arises because of combination with senses and forms. And that feelings are not permanent. When you have a headache, that headache is not permanent. Sometimes you have been suffering with a serious illness for a couple of years. But always you are not suffering. You are suffering whenever you think it. For example, if you have a headache, when someone comes from far away, who is your best friend, then what happens to your headache? Even though physically you have a headache, actually mentally you have no headache. Our feelings actually is like that. We receive feelings whenever we think about it. We have only one feeling throughout one sense at one time. Then that feeling, those feelings arise with the conditions, and they are not permanent. Throughout practicing the contemplating on feelings, we understand the nature of feelings. And throughout practicing Chittanupassana, the contemplating on consciousness, we understand the nature of our mind. Our mind is also not permanent. Even though we think from my birth to now, my mind continuously came, we may think, but it is not true. It is like a river. It is like a waterfall. When you go to see the Niagara Falls, you may think that last time I went there, this time also I saw the same thing. But although the shape is same, the water is not same. Our life, our consciousness, our feelings also like that. Throughout practicing Dhammanupassana, the contemplating on mental objects, we understand thought which consists with mind. Mind and mental objects are different, but they are together. Like when you drink a coffee or tea, you can't separate water and tea. Both are together. Mind and mental objects are like that. Throughout practicing Dhamma, we try to develop one thought, that wisdom or panya. As much as we can develop wisdom, that's the highest mental object that we can improve. Throughout improving the thought of wisdom, we reduce negative mental objects. jealousy, greed. We try to reduce those negative mental objects throughout making strong wisdom. When sun comes to the world, when the sun comes to the world, the darkness gradually disappears. Our panya wisdom also like that. As much as we can improve our wisdom or panya, then gradually negative thoughts, jealousy, ill will, hatred, actually they gradually disappear. Therefore, we try to develop the strength of wisdom throughout practicing Dhamma, throughout listening, throughout practicing concentration and insight meditation. We try to develop wisdom, the thought of wisdom. And Buddha has explained the path for the liberation as the deliverance path. Buddha has explained three disciplines. Trivida Siksha, Siksha. Three disciplines means Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila means virtue or morality or discipline in our speech and behavior. And concentration means keeping our mind in a particular wholesome object for a long time in the present moment. And with the concentrated mind, we reflect on impermanence. Throughout practicing insight meditation, vipassana bhavana, we develop wisdom, panya. And here, we always in the field of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the safety place that we can live without suffering. That is the real insurance. That is why Buddha says one time, consciousness or mind is the refuge for five aggregates. For five senses. We have six senses, like eye, ear, nose. We have six senses. Mind is the refuge for five senses. But we have no real refuge until we develop mindfulness. Mindfulness is the refuge for mind. And Buddha says again, liberation from ignorance, liberation from unwholesome thoughts is the refuge for mindfulness. And again Buddha says, enlightenment is the refuge for liberation. Mind is the refuge for higher senses. Mindfulness is the refuge for the mind. Liberation from negative thoughts is the refuge for the mindfulness. Enlightenment is the refuge for the liberation. You can remember the order. Five senses, mind, mindfulness, liberation, enlightenment. Again, enlightenment, liberation, mindfulness, mind, five senses. Again, five senses, mind, mindfulness, liberation, enlightenment. Again, enlightenment, liberation, mindfulness, mind, five senses. Enlightenment is the final solution, ultimate refuge, highest security. For that, on this path, mindfulness always helps us to go forward. That is the best friend. We go to the liberation hanging in the hand of mindfulness, holding the hand of mindfulness. Whenever we are in mindfulness, seeing impermanence, not only just in the present moment, but Buddha says, while we are living in the present moment, we should reflect on impermanence too. Whenever we are in mindfulness, it means we are away from suffering. Even though we have a very serious illness, we are away from suffering. Whenever we are away from mindfulness, it means we are not away from suffering, even though we are in a very joyful party or somewhere. We are not only away from happiness, but actually we are in a very huge darkness, Buddha says. Whenever we are in ignorance, it means we are in a very huge darkness. All Buddhist doctrines focus on to reduce the darkness that disturb our peace of mind. And in this situation, day by day, our confidence, when we see this Dhamma, our confidence gradually increases in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Then we understand Buddha's noble qualities. Iti viso bhagava arahan. Such indeed the exalted one. And enlightened. Such indeed is the exalted one, worthy, supremely enlightened. And what are their qualities? Endowed with knowledge and conduct, well gone Sugato, knower of the world, Anuttaro Purusha Dhammasarthi, incomparable trainer of to be tamed persons, and Saddha Deva Manushanam, and supreme teacher of gods and men, Buddho Bhagavati, enlightened and exalted. We understand Buddha's qualities as much as we see the results. And also we understand the qualities of the Dhamma. Swapahato Bhagavata Dhammo. Dhamma is well explained by the Buddha. Sanditthiko, visible results. Akaliko, immediately effective. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditthiko Akaliko Ehipassiko, calling one to come and see. Opanaiko, we should understand, we should realize it by ourselves, leading onwards. And Pachattam Veditabo Vinyu, to be realized by the wise personally. We understand these qualities. especially we understand practicing Dhamma is visible result, immediately effective. It is not delayed. And with the understanding of this path, actually always in a day, the memory of these three things come to our mind. During the day, most time we think the Buddha's enlightenment, his Dhamma, his practice, his noble disciples. They are our close friends. Even though Buddha has passed away, even though a lot of Arahants have passed away, still they are living with us. They are in our world. They are in our heart. Whenever we are going, we go holding light with the triple gem. And then we don't think others' mistakes, others' misbehavior, because we have the highest examples, best characters in this world. We are not unhappy any time, whether we face some complex situations. We are not unhappy, because we have made a real refuge in our life. It doesn't mean that we don't go away from our relatives or friends. While we are living with them, we have created a real refuge. We have given the priority to these three things automatically because of practicing Dhamma. When we practice Dhamma, we see the results, and then the confidence in the triple gem gradually, automatically increases. We don't need to create or develop confidence. We have to prepare the equipment, the things. Like if we want a good, very healthy plant, although we pray, we can plant, we can create a very healthy, very strong plant. We should prepare the fertile water and soil near the root. We also should do the same thing. We have to listen in Dhamma again and again. Day by day, we should go to the deeper level. Not only we should stop in the karmic law, the understanding of the karmic law. Day by day, we should practice impermanence. We should reflect on impermanence. Every moment, throughout my senses, five aggregates arise. Throughout this picture, throughout these flowers, throughout these physical bodies, if we are intelligent to see the five aggregates, it means we have overcome suffering. We can laugh with people. We can associate people. We can fulfill our duties in the name of our relatives and friends. While we are living with them, we are going away from suffering. That is the thing that we should do. But they don't know what we practice. While we are laughing with them, we are on another way, another path. They may think that you are in the same boat with them, but you are far away from them. While you are going in the same vehicle, or while you are living in the same house, actually your position is very high. Your standard is very high. Because you have eradicated negative thoughts which cause to suffer. Because in the future, there are a lot of things which cause to suffer. Our close relatives, our parents will die in front of our eyes. Our close relatives will separate from our eyes. Our physical body day by day go to decay. Day by day we are reaching the cemetery. We are not aware of this reality, whether we forget it. But the thing is, while we are spending this life, day by day, we practice the path which helps us to overcome suffering, decay, death and rebirth. Again and again, we have to develop the knowledge of the dependent origination and impermanence, and also we should practice concentration and insight meditation. Please give the priority to develop your concentration and insight meditation. Day by day, increase the duration that you practice meditation. This is the real safety that we have. Even though we have a lot of doctorates from very popular universities in the world, we are not away from suffering. This is the only path that leads to get rid of suffering. Have any question? Have any question? You can ask Mr. Selvam, Fernando. Now I think I'm happy because your knowledge gradually increases, and also at the same time your memory also increases. That is very important. Sometimes we should have learned by heart something. Yes, please.
On the last page, you say fourfold mindfulness.
Yes. Yes, fourfold mindfulness actually we explained the Kayanupassana, the contemplating on body or matter. Vedananupassana, the contemplating on feeling. Third one, Chittanupassana, the contemplating on consciousness. Dhammanupassana, the contemplating on mental objects. Throughout practicing mindfulness in these four things, we try to realize five aggregates. Throughout analyzing five aggregates, we try to comprehend the physical body, the person. The goal of practicing fourfold mindfulness is to understand five aggregates. Understanding five aggregates leads to understand the person. What is the nature of the person? The person is the combination of, in short, mind and body. With detail, five aggregates. These five things are not permanent. Every moment, these five things arise and cease. First, we should contemplate on our life, our own life, my life. Then we apply it to other person. When we have lust or craving or anger, we apply that things to other person. Ajjattanva kaya kayanupassī viharati. First, we should reflect on our life. Then, bahiddhāvā kaya kayanupassī viharati. We apply this reality to other persons. When we are angry with other people, or when we have lust with other people, we apply this experience to other persons. We compare it. First, we focus our life. This is the reality of my life, my physical body. This is consist in food and four elements. Then we analyze. Buddha also did the same thing in first. He discovered, realized, analyzed first, and then he proclaimed the reality to the world. And our final success is how long we are clever to reflect on impermanence. Whatever we experience through our six senses, try to think the impermanence. Like this sound. We can apply this sound to all our experience. Whatever we see, we smell, all experience are like that. But the thing is, even though our consciousness or mind is impermanent, day by day we develop the strength of our wisdom, which helps us to eradicate defilements. Among using impermanent things, we are creating a strong mind with wisdom, which helps us to eradicate defilements completely. If we are on the path of liberation, day by day we are growing up, creating a wise consciousness, mental object.
Is wisdom impermanent?
Wisdom can be divided in several steps. Okay? Now, just now also we have some kind of confidence, some kind of wisdom. That wisdom should be developed from beginning to end. The highest level is the Atavakya Jnana, enlightenment. Until enlightenment, we should develop it. It doesn't mean that after it comes here, it is permanent. After wisdom comes to this level, we don't say either certain or uncertain. Because it is like, when we fly somewhere, when you fly to Australia, okay? Until you fly, this is sometimes Europe, Russia, or like that, I don't know where else. And when you go to Australia, Canberra or Sydney or somewhere, until you are flying here, you are on the way. Every moment you are reaching the destination. After you go to the place, then this is like wisdom. We can say that wherever you are. Then after we reach the destination, it doesn't need to ask whether I want to increase my wisdom or not. Until you reach the destination, you don't give your seat anyone. Sometimes in flight, if someone comes to your seat, you get angry. you fight with that person. This is my seat. After you reach the destination, even though they say that please wait here, I give my seat, you never wait there. As soon as the flight landed, you are hurried to find your bags and go to the place where you like. Until this destination, we increase our wisdom. There are 4 things those are useful to increase our wisdom. What they are? In Panya Buddhi Sutta, the discourse of Panya Buddhi, Buddha says, there are 4 reasons that those help us to increase our wisdom. Associating good friends, listening to Dhamma, wise reflection and practice. Mindfulness. Listening Dhamma, associating good friends, listening Dhamma, wise reflection, practice. What is practice? Mindfulness with details, Sila Samadhi, Panya. And wisdom is a strength. It's a skill which helps us to reduce delusion. That is the real skill according to Buddhism. Even though we have some skills, they are not useful to eradicate our defilement. Sometimes our understanding, when we pass a degree, sometimes some defilements increase. But if we practice real wisdom or Panya, it helps us to eradicate our negative thoughts. At the same time, it helps us to reduce our suffering. Simultaneously, we go away from suffering. Okay?
Yeah, the reason I ask is because if you say wisdom is impermanent, someone could argue, say, well, if wisdom is impermanent, so all the wisdom that I acquired, the levels that I acquired in this life, I die in my next life, if it's impermanent, it could go down to 0, and then again I'm going to have to come up with everything again.
Actually, the thing is, for example, actually I have given that same example. Practicing wisdom is, we can give an example, like while there are some lights here, if we write something, even though we put off the switch, still we have the letter that we have written. Our wisdom also like that. It doesn't mean that it is in the same way. Actually, if we have developed wisdom according to Buddhism, practicing impermanence, actually it doesn't go back. That is a special thing. Like a gem or diamond. Even though diamond is a very dust place or mud, wherever it is valuable. If you have developed your wisdom, whether you will be reborn in a very mysterious person, in a very bad situation, your wisdom is never destroyed. In that place, you increase it again. That is the thing. Bodhisattvas, our Supreme Buddha, when he had been practicing his qualities in his previous lives, from birth to birth, he developed his wisdom to the maximum level. This is the place where he reached the destination in the highest level with wisdom. Our other things can be destroyed, but the wisdom that we acquired throughout practicing impermanence never go back. Day by day, it goes up until the destination. It is the real thing that decides whether we are on the path of liberation. Even though we have earned some money or some physical things, material things, they can be destroyed anywhere, anytime. And it can be stolen by anyone. But the thing that we earned, that we acquired as intelligence or wisdom, it never be destroyed. That is why we should give the priority to develop wisdom. That is very important. Sometimes we can't understand other mundane level science or subjects, but we are intelligent to understand impermanence. That is the interesting thing. When we go to a university or someplace, sometimes we are failing. But when we listening to impermanence, we are clever to understand. When Buddha appeared in the world, there were some monks, Buddha's disciples. Actually, they didn't have even literacy. They are failed in schools. But when Buddha explained the Dhamma, actually they were clever to understand. If we can understand the impermanence, according to Buddhism, is the foundation of dependent origination. Actually, that is the way that we can check our IQ or EQ. Sometimes we have no degrees, we have no present educational qualifications, but we know the way how suffering arises and how we decrease suffering. That is the highest knowledge. You know, sometimes, even though some people are well educated, actually, although we say this message again and again, they can understand. It means they have no higher Buddhist IQ. Okay, thank you so much for your good attention. Today we discussed the triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and how we develop our confidence. The way that we can develop confidence in the triple gem is to practice Dhamma and to listening to Dhamma. That is why Buddha says, he who sees the Dhamma sees me. Yo Dhamma passati somam passati. Even though we see the Buddha's physical body, we don't see the Buddha. If we see the Buddha's message, even though Buddha has passed away, we can see the Buddha. Buddha means not only his physical body, his enlightenment, his understanding. Throughout listening and practice this message, we can develop our understanding in the triple gem. Okay, thank you so much again. And listening to Dhamma, practicing Dhamma, we should make a real refuge, security, safety in our life. Other all things one day go away from us. Only wisdom remains in our life. Okay, now we are going to transfer the merits that we acquired here by worshipping Buddha, by practicing Dhamma, by listening Dhamma. We acquired a lot of positive energy by the power of all these merits. May our departed relatives also receive these merits and may they enhance their spiritual energy. Finally, they may also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to our departed relatives too. Idam me ñātīnaṁ hontu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātīnaṁ hontu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātīnaṁ hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these merits, may guardian deities and angels also receive these merits, and may they enhance their spiritual energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to guardian deities and angels too. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu desanam. Ākāsattā ca bummattā devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu tvaṃ sadā. By the power of all these merits, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no problems come to you. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. May all of us attain final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkhaṃ paṇṭā ca nirdukkhaṃ, bhayaṃ paṇṭā ca nirbhayaṃ, sokaṃ paṇṭā ca nissokaṃ, anto sabbhe pipānino.